details of some of tonight's programmes.
At 10 o'clock, a panel of teenagers will be discussing the growing problem of delinquency amongst clergymen.
Finally, Bernard Levin will be talking about how he's been a lifelong sufferer from foot-in-the-mouth disease.
Meanwhile, for those of you who are more easily pleased, here's 30 minutes of glittering codswallop as we take you round the horne. The story so far: Inspector Bill Pertwee, he of the beetling brows and spidery legs, leant against the mantelpiece in the library at Mallory Grange and surveyed the company. His eyes darted round the room and rolled under the ottoman, which was played by Hugh Paddick in a yashmak. Who was the murderer? Was it the butler, balding, bow-legged old Betty Marsden? Or perhaps the lovely Nubian belly dancer, Kenneth Williams? Suddenly the lights went out, and he heard a sound the like of which no man had heard and lived. In an awful croak, the words rasped out.
Good evening, my name's Kenneth Horne. And welcome to Round the Horne. Well, here to begin with are the answers to last week's quiz. Question 1, that was the sporting question. The answers were a hole in one, a hole in two, and a cigarette burn in the other. The answer to question 2, well, of course, the odd man out was Edwin Braden. The others, of course, are washable. By the way, Edwin Braden has taken over the baton from Paul Feneley on this show. We hope that in time he'll learn to use it. So for the rest of this series, we shall be seeing Edwin on the podium.
Many times. Many times.
Thank you. Now, finally, the question on etiquette. The answer was in 3 parts as follows. Not with your fingers. You shouldn't in the bath. And yes, if you feel you really must, but you get crumbs in the bed. Which attracts the birds. All right. Well, now, today marks the anniversary of that eminent Victorian bird fancier, Nemesis Fothergill, known perhaps better to ornithologists and the police as the Birdman of Potter's Bar. He first achieved prominence when he discovered Trustpot's yellow-black corn paw, for which Trustpot had been looking for weeks. And shortly after this, he was the first man to record the cry of the lesser-spotted willow warbler, so called because it has less spots than other willow warblers. This bird usually emits a sound resembling chuck-chuck, chuck-chuck, pwit, pwit. I'll repeat that. Chuck-chuck, chuck-chuck, pwit, pwit. But during the mating season, it changes to chuck-chuck, chuck-chuck. Well, I suppose during the mating season he'd have more to be happy about, wouldn't he? Perhaps Nemesis was best known for his experiments in cross-breeding. Being short-sighted, this led to some surprising results, as witness Fothergill's lesser-spotted flying fox terrier. A species which is almost extinct, fortunately. I mean, it's a bit unnerving to find a bird scratching at the door and barking to go walkies. But certainly his most successful venture in this field was to produce a turkey with 6 legs for large families who each wanted a drumstick. The experiment was a great success, but unfortunately he could never catch the blighters. Well, there you are. Don't say I never tell you anything. Now, we come to the spot in the show where we pay tribute to the backroom boys of the BBC.
Come out of there!
All right. This week, the Audience Research Department. Now, the people who go from door to door finding out what you, the public, want to hear or see. Last week, I went out with one of the BBC's highly trained investigators to see how it was done.
Well, you see, Mr. Horne, we just take a typical street like this, and then we go from door to door asking questions and filling out this questionnaire. Well, you take this side of the road, and I'll take the other.
Right, I'll try this house first.
You the sanitary?
No.
The HP?
No.
The council?
No.
Ned! It's the law! You're not taking my Neddy away from me! He's a good boy! Don't send him back to that place!
Look, I only wanted to ask you a few questions.
Yeah, I meant to take the stuff back to the supermarket, honest, I did. Them tins of salmon must have just fell off the shelf and slipped down me bloomers. Honest, I didn't realise till I got back here. I haven't been well. I've been under the doctor. I had one of my turns. Ned! Tell the constable.
Oh, you're not taking my mummy. Don't take away from me. You're not taking my mummy. You don't take my mummy. What become of me? What become of me if you take my money? Oh, my mummy. Don't get mummy. No, you mustn't. I need to get a job. I never
No, all right. All right. Now calm yourself, isn't he? I'm trying to explain, but it's very difficult to be coherent with you belaboring me about the knees with a pickaxe handle.
Stop it, Neddy, or you'll get done for grievous bodily. Constable. If I turn Queen's evidence against my Neddy, will it go easier for me? Don't let them send me back to that place!
I don't want to send anyone anywhere. I'm just conducting an inquiry on behalf of the BBC into people's viewing and listening habits.
Oh. Well, yes. Yeah, well, we feel that there's been too much violence on television.
So I tried at another house. Oh, good morning, Mr.
Grunt Fattock. Peas mould Grunt Fattock. J. Peas mould Grunt Fattock. Archbishop.
Archbishop?
Yes, well, it's a honorary title. You see, I give it to myself. It was the voices that told me. The voices, they told me, they talked to me, and they said, go forth, they said. Be the lay preacher at the Hellfire and Damnation Tabernacle. It's over the chip shop at Brixton, do you know it?
Yes. Yes, I know it quite well, actually. I thought it was a dance hall.
Oh, yes, it was. But it come to pass that the Philistines and their birds did cause a great... Philistines and their birds did cause a great unrest in the land, and verily the bogies did descend upon them, and did smite them hip and thigh, and sent them forth for a carpet up the wormwood scrub. And then they did hire the place to the brotherhood of a Friday, seeing as our Sundays was bingo. Come up and confess your sins one Friday, brother. You'll hear some smashing sins up there of a Friday after the pubs are closed. Oh, we spread the message of good cheer and hope.
What message is that?
We be doomed. We be all doomed. Doomed, I tell you.
I'm sure you will
I've
be,
got a touch of the doom.
I should have a bit of a gargle over you with salicylic acid. But what I really want to know is this. What do you want of an evening?
That building across the road with these here binoculars. Oh, you should see the sin that goes on over there, brother. Oh, the lights burning all night, people creeping about in their night attire, yea, and females in black stockings, going from bed to bed. Oh, verily, it is a house of sin, brother.
Look, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but it's the General Hospital.
Another illusion shattered.
Yes, very interesting, Mr.
Grundfather.
Grundfather.
Right, Norman.
Norman, is
yes,
it?
Not Gothic.
Yeah.
Archie's are different.
Could you tell me, sir, something about your viewing habits?
Yes, I am, as you will have gathered, by vocation a peeping Tom. So, when any lissom young female, viz. Judith Chalmers or Peggy Mount, comes on the screen, I shut the doors in front of the set immediately.
Why'd you do that?
I like to watch through the keyhole.
So much then for the backroom boys. Now, Smith, put that hip flask of foot embrocation away and announce the next item.
Sorry, sir, it's purely medicinal.
Oh, your story.
Now, trends.
This is the part of the show for the jet set, as opposed to people of my age, the Sopwith Camel crowd. First, fashion.
Bosoms are out again.
Well, when they come in, will you tell them I called?
Swimwear. Two-piece bathing suits are out, and everybody's wearing one-piece costumes.
Oh, really? Which piece?
Well, I always wear the bottom piece to avoid complications.
Here's some inside news. Who was seen in a royal park wearing a one-piece woolen suit?
A sheep? Now, here are some travel trends. A few suggestions for with-it holidays.
Sunny, cannibal-infested South Borneo beckons. I've never known anyone who's come back disappointed, but then I've never known anyone who's come back.
Or there's a fine choice of agricultural working holidays. You can go hopping in Kent.
Or even better, leaping about in Leicestershire. Or if you prefer it, there's blackberrying in Norfolk.
Muck spreading in Shropshire.
Or chicken sexing in Hampshire.
Finally, we come to trends in entertainment. Following the trend in pirate radio stations comes news of a new development. A German pirate TV station operating from a ship somewhere off the coast of Germany called the SS Himmler. Here is an excerpt from a typical quiz show.
This is Douglas Schmidt welcoming you to another session of that gemütlich quiz show, W. Phoenix. And here is your genial quizmaster, Happy Heinrich Schnitzel.
Thank you. Dankeschön and welcome to another session of W. Phoenix. Brunhilde, bring on the first contestant.
Ja, Herr Schnitzel.
Falling in love again, never one.
They're always playing so hard to get. What a girl. You know what her telephone number is? 999. Laugh again. All right. Now we've had our little fun, and so on with the show.
Here is our first contestant, Herr Wilhelm Stumpf.
Well, Willie, and where are you from?
Well, Happy Heinrich, I'm from Düsseldorf.
How about that? A big hand for little Willie Stumpf from Düsseldorf. Right? I can see we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. Brunhilde, the first question.
It is a question on music. For 100 Phoenix, who wrote the Emperor Concerto?
The Emperor.
No. Now, Willie, think. Who wrote the Emperor Concerto?
I can't remember.
Oh, come, Willie. Oh, you can remember if you try.
No, I can't. No, I can't remember. I have these headaches, you see.
Yeah. Now, for the last time, who wrote the Emperor Concerto?
I can't remember. How can I think with it twisting my arm?
We have ways of making you talk,
Oh,
you know.
please, don't shine those lights in my eyes.
Please, let me talk to him. Hello, big boy.
Me?
I like you. When this is all over, we can go away somewhere together. Look, Willie, don't be a fool. Tell him what he wants to know. I know this Happy Heinrich. He'll stop at nothing to get what he wants.
But I don't know. I can't remember.
I have a little friend who might help to jog your memory.
No!
Otto? Oh, not that sadistic subhuman giant you keep in the cellar.
Yeah. 10 minutes in the soundproof booth with Otto, I think we'll loosen your tongue. Well, for the last time. Who wrote the Emperor Concerto?
All right. Don't be beat me anymore. I'll tell you. Just let me...
Give that to me! Just as I thought. A cyanide tablet. We're wise to that caper on W. Phoenix.
All right, you've beaten me, you inhuman fiend. You may have got me, but there's others all over the world. People are arming. Democracy is on the move. Yes, I tell you. Why shouldn't I tell you? Your days are numbered, Happy Heinrich. Numbered. The skies are dark over Europe now, but there in the west, the dawn is breaking. Yes, Uncle Sam is girding up his loins. His loins, I tell you, his loins. He's girding him up. His loins. Beethoven. It was Beethoven. Oh, I knew all along. Yes, that's right. Beethoven wrote the Emperor Concerto.
Oh, well done, Willie. Now, would you like to go on for the next question?
No, I'll stick there.
Now, will you take the money or open the lucky box 13? Remember, it may contain a high-powered car, a transistor radio, or it may be the booby prize. Well, what should he do?
I decided to open the box.
What a sportsman! Now, here's the key. Come over here. Turn around. Now, see what Frau Locke has in store for you.
Oh, it's just what I've always wanted. It's a love.
Oh, well, the Bosch has beaten us. Come back next week when there'll be 300 pfennigs in the jackboot. Danke.
Well, that's one contestant who won't be back next week. Now, here are the Fraser Hayes Four with a track from their new LP, Hepzibah Menuhin Goes Latin. Ladies and gentlemen, the Fraser Hayes Four.
In every job that must be done, there is an element of fun. You find the fun and snap, the job's a game. And every task you undertake becomes a piece of cake, a lark, a spree. It's very clear to see that a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. The medicine go down, medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in the most delightful way. A robin feathering his nest has very little time to rest while gathering his bits of twine and twig. Though quite intent in his pursuit, he has a merry tune to toot. He knows a song will move the job along, for a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. The medicine go down, medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in the most delightful way.
Bees that fetch the nectar from the flowers to the comb never tire of ever buzzing to and fro, because they take a little sip from every flower that they nip, and hence they find
their task is not a grind. For a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. The medicine go down, medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in the most delightful way. Medicine, 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 down in the most delightful way.
And now a tribute to one of the world's ace crime fighters.
It's Horne's Law.
Why, Captain Horne, you play a mean game of strip poker. Okay, kid. I'll see you. What have you got?
Well, I've got 3 kings and Mr. Bun the baker.
I've got a full house.
Oh.
Your turn to take something off.
Oh, right. Now, what shall it be, my galoshes or my balaclava?
Now, don't tantalize me. Captain, you drive me to distraction.
No, you drive. I'm tired. Oh, careful, you're crushing my carnation. Captain Horne, homicide and cars washed. What? I'll be over right away.
Something wrong?
No, Edwin Braden's disappeared. They suspect murder.
Oh, well, so long as it's not bad news.
Well, Captain, what happened was this, you see. It was during the rehearsals for Round the Horne. Braden went out to the pub for a quick drink, never came back.
But from what I've heard, that's quite usual. Have you checked all his usual haunts?
Yeah, we checked the Amelia Fulbright home for down-and-out Lascars, and they say his bed hasn't been slept in. Then we tried his club, the Ginger Camel in Soho, but he hadn't tried to cash a check there for days.
Have you tried the YWCA?
Well, surely he's not a member.
No, but I've often seen him hanging about outside. Now, the Ginger Camel, you say?
Yeah, he was friendly with a girl in the show there, Miss Exotica, does a sort of an act with a snake.
Oh, good, I like animal acts. I'll pop over there and make some inquiries.
Entrez.
Miss Exotica?
Oui, that is so. I don't recognize you. Have we had the pleasure?
No, we haven't even met. I'm Captain Horne, police.
Well, why didn't you say so, dearie?
Oh. Well, Miss Exotica now.
Lil,
yes, well, I'm inquiring about Edwin Braden. Did you know him?
Oh, yes. The Major. What about him?
He's disappeared.
Good job, too. I was a decent, respectable girl till I met him. He's no good. He's low and deceitful and rotten and depraved. And I hate his guts. Here, I hope nothing's happened to him. You know, he may have been a rotter, but he was all man. Oh, Captain, you didn't know him like I did. No, when he'd take you in his arms and press you against him and kiss you passionately. Oh, you don't know what it was like.
No, but I'll take your word for it.
Oh, Captain, it was like the 4th of July and Christmas and Thanksgiving all rolled into one.
You know, from what I've heard of Braden, I should have thought it was more like Halloween.
I trusted him, but he lied to me. He said he liked my act with the snake. He said he'd get me on zoo time, but he never did, Captain. All he did was knit me snake and flog it to an handbag manufacturer. What kind of man is that, Captain? A man who would pinch my asp and run away. Captain, I'm having to do my act with the length of hose pipe. Tell me, where's the exotic Eastern mystery in the length of hose pipe?
Well, it's about halfway down on the left, I think.
I did not kill him.
But have you any idea who might have? Did he have any enemies?
Well, let me think. There was Harry, the trombone player in the Hornblowers. He hated Eddie.
Well, where can I find this Harry?
He hangs out at a soft-beat sandwich bar near Archer Street.
Yeah, he was uncool, that Braden cat. He bugged me, Dick.
He bugged your dig? I don't quite get this,
No, man, you putting me on.
No.
Like, what I mean is, he was my connection, you know. He like, turned me on to the salt beef sandwiches, like, till it become like an addiction, Dick. You don't know how it starts, do you? I mean, you like, have a puff at the gherkin just for kicks. One day you wake up in a cold sweat. You got to have the salt beef sandwich. With mustard. Now look at me, man. I've got a salt beef monkey on me back. No good trying to get it off. Hello. Look, I knew Braden, but I never killed him, love.
But you had a motive.
Oh, yeah, baby, but so did everybody else. The writers of the show, they hated him. He was blackmailing them. He knew they was receiving stolen jokes and passing them off as their own. Yes, Captain, you should see the writers.
Are you the two writers?
Yeah, I'm Julian. This is my friend Sandy.
Surely you're those two out-of-work actors from Rent-A-Chap.
Yes, well, I've taken up script writing as a sideline, you see. Well, it's not a full week's work, is it? I mean, you can't call it a full week's work. We sort of model ourselves on Muir and Norden.
Yeah, I'm sort of Frank Muir.
And I'm more the Christine Norden. We do all types of writing, don't we? All types. You've got to be versatile. You may have seen some of the things we've done. For Just Men, but only just. Then we wrote Ready, Steady, Whoops.
Why do you call it that?
Well, I hadn't intended to, but as I was typing the title, I broke my fingernail on the typewriter.
Scream the place down.
I can't remember.
Suffers from hypochondria.
I do.
Wears thimbles now.
You don't tell no lies.
And then you might have seen my compact.
Why, have you lost it?
No, it's bold, isn't it?
No, compact. I wrote the one where that Ian Harmon come into the office and burst into tears when Mrs. Chater told him his sales was going down.
Very touching.
Yes, it was. I thought so. Then Ben had this screaming row with Doug because he said he'd nicked his eyebrow tweezers.
Has he?
No, of course he hadn't. But Gussie confesses she's Mitch's mother, so Mitch gives Elliot Morrow a good thrashing with his own stick and runs off and becomes a stoker in the Merchant Navy.
That's right, it's Babe.
But surely Mitch is a woman.
Oh, is he? I never let on.
All right, boy.
Well,
I appreciate your problems, but I'm inquiring about the mysterious disappearance of Edwin Braden.
Oh, him, great airy fool.
Yes, that fits the description I have. Well, anyway, we believe that he's been foully slain, and all the evidence points to you two. You had the means, the motive, and the...
Captain Horne, something terrible has happened.
Good heavens, what?
Take a grip of yourself, sir. We've found Edwin Braden.
Dead?
Worse. Alive.
Okay, Captain, it's your call.
Well, I'll raise you a woolly sock.
I'll raise you a pair of nylons.
A fair owl pullover and my braces.
Oh, you're playing for high stakes, Captain. If you win this hand, it means I'm left with practically nothing on.
All right, then, in that case, I'll see you. That's Horne's Law. That's all for today. We'll be back with another edition of Round the Horne next week. Before I go, here's the prize-winning entry in our limerick competition. It comes from Mrs. H. Fisher of 20 Thornfield Avenue, London, NW7. Goes like this. 2 factory workers from Cork were eating their soup with a fork. One said to his friend, use the opposite end. Oh, look, I've invented a spork. We rather liked that. It was a jolly difficult limerick to deal with, I must say. Now, here are the opening 2 lines of the next competition, the winner of which will be announced in 2 weeks' time. They go like this, the first 2 lines. A cockney was pushing his barrow through Battersea's streets wide and narrow. I'll repeat that. A cockney was pushing his barrow through Battersea's streets wide and narrow. And entries to Round the Horne, BBC, London, W1, and to the sender of the best completed limerick goes this week's prize of a glossy nude photograph of Richard Dimbleby's knees. And I wouldn't mind going in for that myself. Well, cheerio. See you next week.
That was Round the Horne, starring Kenneth Horne, with Kenneth Williams, Hugh Paddick, Betty Marsden, and Bill Pertwee. On the musical side, you heard the Fraser Hayes Four and Edwin Braden and the Hornblowers. The script was written by Barry Cooke and Marty Feldman and produced by John Simmons. Here are details of some of tonight's programmes.
In Music to Remember, the BBC Welsh Orchestra will be playing music by... blast, I've forgotten it.
Late night music comes from the new health food nightclub, the Senapara Go-Go.
Meanwhile, for those of you who are more easily pleased, here are 30 minutes of Reach Me Down Tat. As Kenneth Horne takes you round the horn. The story so far. A tremor ran through the room, barking and wagging its tail. As bewhiskered old family solicitor Betty Marsden prepared to read the will, adjusting her pince-nez, played by Bill Pertwee on the end of a sock ribbon, she cleared her throat and started to read. Who would be the chief beneficiary? Would it be fragile Kenneth Williams, he of the porcelain complexion and terracotta legs? Or rugged, tweedy, outdoor dress designer Hugh Paddock? Suddenly a sound brought them all to their feet, as from the distant moors, played by the Fraser Hayes Four in black makeup, came an unearthly cry.
Hello, my name's Kenneth Horne. That was Douglas Smith, who appears by permission of the massed bands of the Brigade of Guards and Nappy Service. Now, here are the answers to last week's quiz. Question 1 was, of course, the musical question, and the answer was... Although I would accept... But on no account would I accept... And I rather like... Question 2 was the who am I question. The answer to that was Kenneth Horne, and not as Mrs. Samantha Hogsbottom of Guildford said, Mrs. Samantha Hogsbottom. The answer to question 3 was in 3 parts as follows. Over the top, under the arm, and halfway up the Edgware Road. Now to be educational and serious for a moment. Today, the initials FM are usually taken to mean frequency modulation or field marshal, but exactly 300 years ago today, they had a more sinister meaning. For it was in April 1665 that a certain Dr. Edwin Chattleforth shocked the world by announcing the invention of force meat. Now, reactions to his invention were immediate and far-reaching. The normally phlegmatic British were aroused to a state of frenzied apathy. It wasn't the actual taste of the stuff that affected people, it was the methods by which the meat was forced. And it wasn't long before the RSPCFM was founded, and rigid restrictions were introduced to ensure that meat was forced in as humane a way as possible. No longer when passing the force meat factory did one hear the plaintive cries of, "Oh, you're forcing me too hard," or "Stop it, you're giving me a headache." And force meat operatives were instructed to use phrases like, "Come along now, there's a good meat." But a cloud still hung over the force meat industry, and in an attempt to change the climate of public opinion, the manufacturers tried to popularize persuasion meat. And one actually produced and marketed a product called unforced meat, and in fact tried to set up a society for the propagation of unforced meat, or SPUM. But people thought that SPUM sounded rude. Unforced meatballs were blackballed, and the blackballs eventually became caviar. Now, all this comes out in a government white paper issued today under the title of The Extraordinary Pastimes of Mrs. Amelia Dinwiddie, Price 4pence, and I thought you ought to know. And now, on to the section of our show which is devoted to the backroom boys of the BBC.
Are they ever coming out?
That's all right. How do the BBC go about recruiting talent for their programmes? Well, every day in Broadcasting House, a panel of experienced producers hold a series of public auditions, sorting the sheep from the goats.
Would you come in, Mr. Lever?
Grantfattock, J. Peasmould, Grantfattock, Chief Rabbi.
Did you you say the chief rabbi?
Oh, no, not the chief rabbi. In fact, if you want to split hairs, I'm not chief rabbi at all. Not any kind of rabbi. I come to that. I'm not even Jewish. You see, it's an assumed title. It's assumed. It's title voluntary. I give it myself, you see. Like the other one, Rabbi Burns. Because it's the voices told me, you see, the voices. I have the voices.
You've had the call.
Not for days. But when I do have it, the voices tell me what to do. Go forth, they say. Go forth, the voices say. Go forth. Go up the pictures. Go up the pictures and rip up the seats, they say. Or wander abroad, they say. Wander abroad upon the public thoroughfares, shouting and mumbling and making gestures at people.
Yes,
they tell me.
It's very, very interesting, but why come here?
The voices, they told me. And did they not say unto me, go forth, Grant Fattock, my child? I said, go forth, creep up the BBC and make a nuisance of yourself. That's it, I want to be discovered.
Yes, well, I've no doubt you will be, but doing what?
Couldn't I be a contestant on What's My Line? I do a very good mime. Here, look. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Good heavens, you can't do that for a living.
Oh, no, that's my hobby.
Well, put them back on at once. You couldn't even write that on the blackboard, anyway.
This is my occupation. What's this mime?
What is that supposed to represent?
Me climbing up the drain pipe to Judith Chalmers' flat.
Quite unsuitable.
I'd be very good on What's My Line. Besides, I have something in mind regarding Lady Barnet. I'd wait till she got the mask on. Then I'd creep up on all fours and
Mr. Grant Fattock, please do.
Well, it's the voices, you see.
Anyway, What's My Line is off the air.
Well, this is your life. I'd make a good subject for that. Or I could be on one of your variety programmes. I don't mind as long as there's women involved. See, I'm a man of many parts, you know. Most of them unwashed. I have many acts of a daring and mysterious nature, to wit and viz. J.P.'s my Grant Fattock impersonator.
Well, would you like to show us some of your impersonations
Yes,
now?
well, this one never fails to get a round of applause. You listen closely and shut your eyes, and you'll feel he's in the room with you.
Clear off out of it, clear off out of it. I want to set fire to the Houses of Parliament. I will.
There. What do you think of that?
Who was it?
It's my brother Arnold. It is truly, like everybody says, it's a truly amazing impersonation.
No doubt, Mr. Grant Fattock, but who would recognise it?
Oh, the magistrate at Bow Street would. And so would my brother Arnold. He's been detained during Her Majesty's pleasure. Although what pleasure anyone could get out of detaining my brother Arnold, I can't imagine. But I digress here. Yes, thank you. I have other talents of a more commercial nature. There's the great Grant Fattock illusionist. See him saw the lady in half. Saw the lady in half.
You actually saw a lady in half?
Well, I haven't done yet, but I'm willing to have a go at anything. Or you have your debonair Grant Fattock in a singing and dancing mood. Shall I burst forth into golden song?
Oh, very well if you must, but hurry up.
I'll out in about on the streets all day, hawking the green round. Oh, night cold flowers can't be ours. You can hear me shout, I'm here, girls, night French bean. Kind of bit, you pass all night and round. And ball of my flower, I like a ball of flower. And the rhubarb is the best hit off the town. good, isn't it?
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Gruntfutter.
Gruntfutter.
Yes, thank you. Might be a little difficult to place you in a program in the near future, but why don't you try somewhere else, say commercial television?
I did. It was them sent me to you.
And next week we'll be having another look at the backroom boys of the BBC.
Now, a further episode in the career of the world's sexiest policeman.
It's Horne so long.
This week, who killed the amazing Proudbasket?
Well, don't look at me.
Go straight to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect £200.
Okay, it's your move, Captain.
All right. Oh, look, my flat iron has landed on your old Kent Road.
Okay, honey, it's a double. Throw again. Oh, you've got snake's eyes.
Yes, I know. My nose is no bargain either.
Oh, honey, but you're all man.
Hello. Hello, Captain Horne, homicide and invisible mending. What? Who? When? Good grief. Where? Fantastic. Incredible. That's the most macabre thing I've ever heard.
What is it?
Wrong number. Now, where were we? Captain Horne? What? I'll be right over. There's been a tragedy at Fidget's Mammoth Circus. The amazing Proudbasket has been murdered.
Well, sir, what happened was the amazing Proudbasket was in the middle of his act with Rumpo, the wonder dog, when he was shot from behind.
Have you recovered the bullet?
Yes, sir, I've got him outside.
Him?
Yes, Otto, the human cannonball.
Bring him in.
All right, Mr. Otto, the captain wants to talk to you.
Guten Tag, Captain.
All right, Otto, now tell us everything you know.
Everything I know? Very well. Bogwort is a species of New Zealand grass which sometimes grows to the height of 10 inches.
You're holding something back.
All right, you're bound to find out sooner or later. The world knee-trembling record is held by Mrs. Ludwig Got it out of me.
But what about the murder? Now tell me what happened in your own words.
You mean I can drop this ridiculous accent? Can I?
Yes, of course.
Oh, good. It's the terrible strain on my epiglottis.
Oh, I'll drop it.
We want to know who fired you at the amazing Proudbasket.
I don't know. I don't know. I was in me cannon waiting to be shot through me flaming hoop. Yes, and into me safety net when someone altered the aim of the cannon. The next thing I know, I've been let off, and there I was, hurtling straight at the amazing Proudbasket.
And you've no idea who did it?
Ask the ringmaster. He hated Proudbasket.
Well, I better go and talk to him. Oh, and Sergeant, send Crazy Otto here down to ballistics and see if there's any fingerprints on him or if he's been tampered with in any way.
Roll up! See the greatest show on earth? Fidget's Mammoth Circus, tonight at 8. See the incredible Rumpo the Wonder Dog, the world's most sagacious canine. How does he do it?
How does he do what?
Mind your own business. See General Tom Lackwind, tiny but perfect. See the blood-curdling Rasputins. See Madame Negresco, the tattooed lady, covered from head to foot with reproductions of the world's great masterpieces. See our Picasso. Admire our El Greco and wonder at our Watto.
Excuse me, are you the owner of the circus? I'm Captain Horne.
Oh, sorry, I've already got a hairless marvel.
No, I'm from the police.
Don't tell me the Rasputins have been at it again.
Why, have they been acting strangely?
No, for them it's normal. Take young Neddy Rasputin. I mean, last night he come in reeking of beer and mumbling. Did one handspring, climbed into the audience, clattered a kid round the ear, and then lurched off again, muttering foul oaths. That was his contribution to the evening's fun.
What sort of act do these blood-curdling Rasputins do?
Them? Oh, they're the lovable clowns they are. You'll find them in that caravan over there.
Yes?
Mrs. Yeti Rasputin, I'm Captain Horne, police.
You're not taking my Neddy away from me! No, you're not! You're not! He never nicked that wallaby from Whipsnade! No! He followed him home, hopping! No! Don't send him back to that place! I'll keep him locked up, I swear it!
It's you I wanted to see, Mrs. Rasputin.
Oh, well, and I never did put that advertisement in that stationer's window. Besides, even if I did, I do give French lessons. Only don't let them send me back to that place. Ned! Ned! Tell the constable.
Yeah, you're not taking my mummy.
No.
Don't you take my mummy.
No.
You're not taking my mummy.
No.
Don't take my mummy away. Who's going to do my mending and washing? Who's going to scramble me eggs?
Nothing suspicious there. Now, who else is there? Oh, yes, Madame Negresco, the tattooed lady. She'll be in this caravan here.
Come in.
Oh, I'm Captain Horne, police. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were putting your little boy to bed.
Little boy? Good heavens, man, I'm 42.
I'd like you to meet my husband, General Tom Lackwind, the smallest man on earth.
Late of the Queen's Own light-mounted fox terriers. Petite but perfect in every detail. Balance me on the palm of your hand.
Yes, well, perhaps some other time. Now, I believe that you both knew the Amazing Proudbasket.
Yes, of course, I knew Cosmo. He and Tom here both wanted to marry me, but Cosmo only wanted me for my tattoos.
Yes, he just wanted to get his hands on her water.
You see, it was an original.
Well, how'd you know?
It was signed across the bottom. So when I chose to marry Tom, Cosmo became crazed with jealousy. One night when I was asleep, he crept into my caravan and... No, please. I can't bring myself to say it.
Tell him, my dear, it's bound to come out sooner or later.
He crept in and tattooed a moustache on my Mona Lisa.
So that's why you killed him?
She didn't kill him, Captain. I did. That man disfigured my wife's masterpiece. He didn't deserve to live. Yes, I killed him. Now, don't try anything, Captain. This revolver I'm holding is pointing straight at your knee.
Give yourself up, Tom. You won't get a long stretch.
No, I can't face it. I'm going to end it all.
Come down off that chest of drawers.
There. I'm going to jump.
Tom!
Don't look. It's not a pretty sight.
What a tragic end.
Yes, the old Swanee whistle and thud usually gets a much bigger laugh than that.
Double 3, Captain. That's my boot landed on your waterworks.
I'll overlook it this time, but don't let it happen again. Now, my turn. Community chest. Now, what does it say?
Pay £10 fine or take a chance.
Well, I'll take the chance at my age. You don't often have one. That's Horne's Law. If I told you that you were now about to witness an incredible feat of foot juggling, rope spinning, and hair-raising antics on the high wire, you'd be surprised. But not nearly as surprised as the Fraser Hayes Four, who are merely planning to sing a song. And it's a track from their new LP, Michael Chaplin at the National Assistance Board. The Fraser Hayes Four.
was my lucky day. It was my very lucky day. It was my most fortunate day. Just in time, pop, I found you just in time. Pop, before you came, my time was running low. Pop, pop, pow, I was lost. The losing dice were tossed. My bridges all were crossed. Nowhere to go. Now you're here, and now I know just where I'm going. No more doubt or fear. I found my way, and love came just in time. You found me just in time. You changed my lonely life that lovely day. It was my lucky day. It was my very lucky day. It was my lucky day. Round this town, I've been very lucky for you. It was my lucky day. Just about got me down, and I didn't know what to do. Then it happened. Just in time, I found you just in time. Before you came, my time was running low. I was lost, the losing dice were tossed. My bridges all were crossed, nowhere to go. Now you're here, and now I know just where I'm going. No more doubt or fear, I found my way. And love came just in time. You found me just in time. You changed my lonely life that lovely day. You changed my life. How you changed my lonely life. You sure changed my lonely life that lovely day. Just in time.
Thank you, the Frasers, for you gave us quite a turn there.
Now, trends.
This is the part of the show designed for the new get-away with it people, as opposed to people like Kenneth Williams, who've been getting away with it for years. First, fashion.
Peekaboo toes are back.
Oh, good. They'll go with my peekaboo feet one day.
Sally Tuffin has done something incredibly saucy with the length of hopsack.
Many times, many times.
Well, if I was her, I'd plead the headaches again, I think.
The theatre. Bruce Forsyth is still drawing in the public.
Drawing in the public what?
The trend in the theatre can... I'll tell you after. The trend in the theatre continues towards the 30s. Following the revival of Noel Coward's plays such as Private Lives and Hay Fever, comes yet another revival, Private Fever. And here is an excerpt.
Happier, Charles.
Ecstatically. Incredibly. And yet, somehow sad. And you, Fiona?
I'm sad too. Heartbreakingly, poignantly, unutterably sad, and yet somehow happy.
Yes. I know.
I know you know.
I know you know I know.
Yes, I know. And now it's over between us. Finally, irrevocably, indisputably, ultimately, inexorably over.
Yes. I've sensed it too.
I know.
I know you know.
I know you know, I know.
Yes. I know. Even in spite of what happened between us at Biarritz.
Yes.
And Cannes.
Yes.
And on the Maharaja's yacht at Tobago.
Yes, yes.
And on the terrace of the casino at San Remo.
Yes.
And in the doorway of that horse meat shop in Ball's Pond Road.
Yes, my love. Even in spite of that. In fact, perhaps in some unutterably, poignantly incredible way because of that.
Then, this is goodbye?
Yes.
Oh, God, Fiona. You're sending me out of your life forever.
Yes, Charles, I am. It's better this way. Please go now, my darling.
But, Fiona...
No. Don't say anything. Just walk away from me. Don't look back. Please, my darling, please. Don't look back.
Goodbye.
I told you not to look back.
And now travel. Here are some useful suggestions for trendy with it holidays. Have you ever thought of potholing?
Many times. Many times.
All right. Frankly, your best bet is to do what I did, go to a good established travel agency. I popped into one in Chelsea last week. It was called Bona Tours Limited. Hello? Anybody there?
Oh, hello. I'm Julian, this is my friend Sandy.
Oh, it's Mr. Horne. Don't you remember us?
Well, how could anybody forget you? You're those two out-of-work actors from Rent-A-Chap.
Yes, that's right. We're filling in here between engagements on the telly.
Well, I wonder if you could advise me on a holiday. I thought about Capri.
Oh, Capri.
Lovely.
If you're lucky, you might get Gracie to sing your number. Mightn't he? But, I mean, even if she's not there, you could get old Boris to mend a fuse for you. Lovely fuse.
Do that. Or if you don't want to stay in one place, why don't you try camping?
Oh,
it's all the rage in Europe. They love it. Camping's ever so popular in the south of France.
Oh,
yes. The people you find on those campsites in the south of France are very friendly.
Yes, I suppose. May I? I suppose that's what's known as entente cordiale.
Oh, it goes trop loin. But, I mean, if you want a really sophisticated holiday, you could go to that place on the Côte d'Azur where that little chap lives. What's his name now? Prince...
Littler?
No.
Don't tell me. No.
You know him.
No, don't tell me. No.
Little chap with a moustache. Owns his own country. Prince Rini, is it?
No, don't tell me. No.
Married that beautiful blonde film star.
No, don't tell me. No. Yes, Gene Kelly.
Oh, you daft fool. Gene Kelly. Barbara Kelly.
Oh.
One with the earrings, married to Edwin Braden.
Now him, great airy fool.
Not Edwin. Surely you mean Bernard Braden.
Oh, yes, that's right. The one who makes his living being satirical and advertising soup. Yes, that's it. Monte Carlo.
Monte Carlo, no, I don't fancy it.
Well, what else is there? Let's see. You can go cruising. You have your cruising. We often go cruising, don't we, Julian?
Speak for yourself.
Thank you. There's your paddling up the Orinoco, your fortnight of the holiday camp in England. You know, they advertise that on the telly. Yeah. Still, from what you see, you wouldn't enjoy it. It's all full of millionaires and air stewards and models and film producers all battling to get in the knobbly knees contest.
No, it sounds too sophisticated for me. I'd like to go somewhere different.
Well, why don't you try one of our guided tours to classical Greece? 20 guineas, 15 days, 32 philosophers.
Oh, yes, you'd enjoy that. That includes a trip to Olympus, stay at the Parthenon, and a visit to the actual place where Socrates laboured on his symposium.
Yes.
It's included in.
It is.
It's all in.
Yes, good.
That is all in.
Well, I think I'll take that. It's very me. But now, one thing, how come you can do all this for 20 guineas?
Well, you see, it's a package holiday, but with a difference.
What's that?
We post you there. You see, you're in the package.
Well, that's my holiday taken care of, and I'm looking forward to it. So for the next few weeks, I shall be swatting up my Greek philosophers, studying my Plato, brushing up my Copernicus, and if I can manage it, I shall make a point of looking up my Aristotle. Well, that's it for this week, except to give you the results of our limerick competition, and this is the one we have chosen. It comes from a listener, an anonymous listener from London SW5, and goes like this. A professional wrestler from Lee, while rehearsing a bout for TV, stuck his thumb up his nose, dislocated his toes, and insisted on double the fee. Well, we thought that was rather nice. Well, now, that's it for this week, except to give you the new limerick for next week. Now, the limerick begins with these two lines. The pink-spotted thrush of Bengal has a very peculiar call. And I'll repeat that. The pink-spotted thrush of Bengal has a very peculiar call. And to the sender of the best completed limerick goes this week's prize of 2 horse brasses and 1 who isn't. Cheerio, see you next week.
That was Round the Horne, starring Kenneth Horne, with Kenneth Williams, Hugh Paddick, Betty Marsden, and Bill Pertwee. On the musical side, you heard the Fraser Hayes Four and Edwin Braden and the Hornblowers. The script was written by Barry Cooke and Marty Feldman and produced by John Simmons. Here are details of some forthcoming programs.
Saturday you will be able to hear the first of a new series of pop programs for the over 70s called Ready, Steady, Can't Go.
Finally, in Housewives' Choice for the next 3 weeks, Alan Freeman will be playing Housewives' Request and washing their smalls.
Meanwhile, for those of you who are more easily pleased, here's 30 minutes of implausible claptrap as we take you round the horn. The story so far. Lovely geisha Bill Pertwee. She of the almond eyes and pickled walnut nose. Toyed idly with her egg foo young. Played with amazing dexterity by sweet and sour Hugh Paddick. Without the aid of chopsticks. Beside her, sitting in a sampan, was her father, wizened, parchment-faced old mandarin Betty Marsden. Stroking her drooping moustaches. Meanwhile, in the bathhouse of the August moon, lovely, wanton Kenneth Williams received a strange phone call. Picking up the phone, she fainted dead away. She heard the grisly warning of the Tom.
Hello, this is Kenneth Tom. And that, I may say, was Douglas Smith, who appears by permission of the Tel Aviv branch of the Big Ben-Gurion Banjo Band. Now, here are the answers to last week's quiz. The answer to question 1, well, of course, you pull it. Those of you who suggested you pour custard over it were just being silly. Question 2, what were the sounds? Well, now, the first sound you heard was a bread pudding falling from a high building onto Alvar Liddell. And actually, the only one of you who got it was Alvar Liddell. The other sounds were a truffle in pain, a chub fuddler fuddling his chub, and the last one was, of course, a group of nudists sitting down in a plate of raspberry fondant. Well, now, to business. Once again, Friar Wecker Biscuit Day has come round again. And people all over the world are celebrating the death of the medieval German monk who invented the hip bath, or Wiener Schnitzel, as it's sometimes called. And before his invention, people had walked about with dirty hips. Although, of course, there'd been other baths before the good friar came along. There were foot baths for people with dirty feet, bird baths for people with dirty birds. The original bath was, of course, Roman in origin. In fact, Nero used to spend all day in the bathroom, and this used to irritate his wife, Doris. who couldn't get to the sink to rinse out her toga. Well, eventually she thought of a way to get him out of the bath. She shouted through the keyhole to him, "Oi, Nero, you want it on the phone?" Well, of course, he leapt out of the bath and ran downstairs to the hall, dripping wet, only to find that phones hadn't yet been invented. And this made him so irritable that he set fire to Rome. Anyway, where was I? Said he, finding his place. Oh, yes. The Friar Whack-a-Biscuit story, part 2. Having invented the hip bath, the good friar found that people needed implements to wash themselves with. He hit upon the sponge, but he found that was impractical, as all that happened was that you got jam all over you. And besides, after being used in the bath, it became too soggy to eat. Now, fortunately, a colleague of his in the monastery, a brother Martin, came up with a startling idea, a sort of elongated tool for scrubbing your back with, and this was named after him, the Martin Loofah. Well, it may not be very funny, but at least it's clean, isn't it? And now to a new feature. The BBC, as a democratic organisation, believe that minority groups, however small, should be allowed to voice their opinions. So, this week we have with us a fanatic secret sect who call themselves the Shuddering Brethren, with their leader, Mr.
Gruntfuttock.
Yes?
J. Peasmould Gruntfuttock. Gruntfuttock, I am the grand, exalted, high, worshipful shudderer.
And what does your sect actually do?
We shudder. These are my faithful acolytes. This here is Brother Catamole. Give him the secret sign, brother.
Very well, Brother Gruntfuttock.
Well, there's nothing secret about that.
Well, it has a special significance for us.
Oh, does it?
Notice that he's wearing the ceremonial regalia, viz. A greasy Mac bowler hat, and carries a ceremonial jewelled ballcock, which, together with the Yogi Bear bath toy and a packet of crisps, are the emblems of his high office. That of Grand Masterful Knee Wobbler.
Oh, is that a very privileged position?
Oh, yes, brother. It entitles him to first sip of the ceremonial brown ale, which is borne round the brethren by Mrs. Stubbins here, our high priestess. Give Mr. Horne the fraternal greeting, Evadne.
Hello, cheeky face!
At the lodge meetings, she always sits on my right hand. That has a certain mystical significance.
Yes, well, I'd sooner not hear about that. And who is this freakish pantaloon wearing nothing but antlers and carpet slippers, covered in woad and carrying a trombone? What's his function?
I don't know. I thought he was with you.
Oh. Well, Mr.
Gruntfuttock. Gruntfuttock. It's a Saxon name.
Oh, not Norman.
No, it's Saxon. Yes, I had it wrong. It describes what my ancestors did for a living.
You mean like Smith or Baker?
Yes, I had an ancestor who actually was Gruntfuttock Royal to King Ethelred the Unready.
Oh, really? You know, I always thought Ethelred grunted his own futtocks. Well, at least that's how he's always depicted in engravings that I've seen.
It's a nasty smear put about by William the Conqueror. He'd say anything, you know, to make me look a fool. Oh, but I digress. I believe you would like to be the first man to witness the secret initiation ceremony of the Grand Order of Shudderers.
I can hardly contain my indifference.
Very well. Shudderers, to your places. Let the initiation commence. Scrode Master, blow the giant ram's horn.
Yes, worshipful Shudderer, it shall be blown forth.
Let the Scrode counting commence. Right, steady. bring forth the grommet.
The grommet shall be brought forth. What say you, grommet bearer?
Be there Nadgers present?
Nay, there be no Nadgers among us. We all be shudderers, stout and true.
Then lower your scroll.
Yes, let them be lowered.
Fellow shudderers, have your Scrooge been lowered?
Aye.
Aye.
Many, many times. Yes, indeed.
Aye, then we are ready.
Many times.
Oh, shut your gob. Waits there a novice quiverer for admission?
I am a novice. I am a novice quiverer of scrutinised grommets and honest scroll.
And dost thou, attending upon us, wait without?
Yea, I am without.
Well, hard luck, mate. Come back when you've got some.
Well, that's given you a glimpse of the activities of the shuddering brethren, and questions have been asked about them in Parliament lately. Some people feel they should be stopped. But it's very difficult to stop them as nobody has the faintest idea of what they're doing. Except that it's rather noisy and smells of singeing feathers. Right, Smith, stop trying to sell Edwin Braden those photographs and make the announcement.
Oh, sorry, sir. They're just some candid snaps I took on my holidays last year.
Oh, good.
In Port Said.
Afterwards, I'll see.
Now, bearing in mind the current crop of spy stories, we bring you one to end them all, I sincerely hope. More dangerous than Danger Man, more vengeful than the Avengers, more intriguing than the Ipcress Files, sexier than Bond, more intelligent than the Intelligence Men.
Oh, get your gold finger out and get on with it. Hanging it out like that.
Round the Horne proudly presents Counter-Agent Kenneth Horne in The Spy Who Came In With a Cold.
My name's Kenneth Horne, licensed to kill and sell tobacco. It all started, as most of these parodies do, in my luxury penthouse above the horsemeat shop in Dalston. I just finished a case and I sat there idly contemplating my bulging dossier and toying with a finely chased goblet of fruit salts. I gulped it down and sat there ruminating. I had a feeling that something was going to happen. And then... Hello, Kathy Kirby speaking.
It's all right, Horne. You can drop the disguise. This is Haverstrap here, intelligence. Richard Dimbleby's disappeared. We think he's defected.
Oh, surely not. Perhaps a little overweight, that's all?
I want you to get over to HQ right away. The chief wants you to go after him.
There was no time to waste. I threw off my bathrobe and my pajamas and my balaclava helmet and my Wellingtons and my Macintosh and my woolly chest protector and my cardigan and leapt out of bed. From the wardrobe, I selected a pepper and salt suit, a mustard waistcoat, and my soup-stained tie, which I tied in a brown Windsor knot. Pausing only to wait for a cheap laugh, I hailed a passing music link and told them to get me to Whitehall as fast as possible.
Has Horne arrived yet, Miss Golightly?
No, Colonel Brown Horrocks.
Well, as soon as he arrives, show him in.
Yes, sir. Oh, by the way, the PM's on the scrambler.
Oh, is he? Well, as soon as he comes out, ask him to phone me. Now then, now. Where's that man Horne?
just drawn up outside. There's a man getting out. It's Horne, sir.
Oh, splendid. We can't afford to waste any more time. Ah, Horne.
Ah, Brown Horrocks.
Now, let me fill you in.
Right.
Dimblebill's disappeared. We suspect he's been kidnapped and smuggled behind the Iron Curtain.
Why should they want Dimbleby?
Good heavens, man, isn't it obvious? You must have seen his panorama. It's one of the biggest things on television. Carries enormous weight. And it goes on tomorrow night. You realize the implication.
Of course, without Dimbleby, the British way of life is finished.
Precisely. And it's not just panorama, it's state occasions. With Dimbleby gone, nobody important can get married or die or have children. It'll mean anarchy.
And the news hasn't broken yet?
No, top security. We've taken what measures we can to keep it from the public. A team of makeup experts is at work at this very moment, tarting up Judas Chalmers to double for him.
Well, it's an old trick, but it might work.
What else can we do? Things are desperate, Horne. Only you can save Britain.
What have we got to go on, Brown Horrocks?
Only this. It's a message from our agent in Tangier. It says, Spotted Dick in Tangier.
Oh.
So we want you to go out there straight away and bring him back. Incidentally, you'll need this special equipment. Here, it's a pen which writes under curry, and here, a plate of instant curry to write under. A spare pair of socks, with a secret compartment in the heel, and mock leather briefcase containing a pair of mock leather briefs. £5 in foreign currency, a 3 and 6 luncheon voucher which can only be used at Ali Ben Hassan's kosher delicatessen. Right? Good luck, Horne.
And with that, the interview was over. Brown Horrocks gave me a curt smile of dismissal. Then he tightened his lips, puckered his nose, screwed up his eyes, and flung them into the wastepaper basket. I hurried to London Airport, where a few bars of appropriate music waited to convey me to Tangier. Excuse me, Arabian passerby. Can you direct me to the nearest British secret agent?
Yes, Effendi. Proceed along the street of 1,000 keyholes. Past the bazaar of 10,000 delights. Turn right at the pie shop of 1,000,000 flies. And you will find Ali Ben Hassan's kosher delicatessen beneath the sign of the swinging matzo ball. Very lovely.
Oh, thank you very much. And here, take this for your trouble.
Oh, thank you, kind master. Thank you. A kick in the ankle, just what I've always wanted.
I set off at a brisk dog trot. A dog beside me set off at a brisk horn trot. And soon we were happily trotting along cheek by jowl. It was an unusually tall dog, as it happens. Soon I was at my destination. I lounged nonchalantly against the bars. The barman sidled up to me.
Yes, Effendi.
Oh, bring me a tankard of one of your native concoctions.
Certainly, Effendi. Here.
Delicious. What is it?
It isn't me. It is a drink made from a local fruit and processed to a syrupy sweetness by the addition of certain fragrant herbs and aromatic spices. We call it Kul al-Rabat Rakat Lahum.
What's that in English?
A syrup of figs.
I had a feeling that all was not well. Call it 6 cents, call it what you will, or whatever you're allowed to, but I realized that my drink had been tampered with. I swayed dizzily, and then I plunged into oblivion. And when I came to, I found myself on a bed in a room. From somewhere nearby came the elusive smell of musk, tempered with fish paste. A figure leant over me. It was the dreaded Dr. Chu N. Ginsberg. He spoke.
So, Mr. Special Agent Horne, we meet at last.
Where am I?
Halfway down page 14.
Oh.
In a disused zip fastener factory moored 5 miles off the coast of Africa.
You'll never get away with it, you inscrutable twit. What have you done with Dimbleby?
He is downstairs in my private laboratory. I am conducting an experiment with him. I am going to remove his brain and transplant the brain of a chimpanzee. Then I am going to send him back to England. Superficially, he will be the same. But he won't be able to think like a human being. He will be incapable of reason or judgment.
It'll never work.
Well, it did with Bernard Levin.
But you're mad.
I'm not mad.
You're mad.
I'm mad. I'm not mad. Don't call me mad. That's what they called me at school when I was at Rodin.
Rodine's a girls' school.
No, I'm not that man. I was always different from the other boys. I was always good at science, crossbreeding different species. I once crossplayed a goat and a budgerigar. They said it couldn't be done, but I did it. I called it a gudgery goat. Yeah. Great yellow airy thing it was. Used to flap about the place butting people. They all laughed at me, except the gudgery goat. Got no sense of humor, those creatures. I swore revenge. I'm going to turn all the world's leaders into chimpanzees.
You've made a good start already from what I've seen. But you can't do it with Dimbleby, it's treason.
Who is going to stop me?
I am. This perfectly innocuous-looking sword I'm holding in my hand, in fact, contains a walking stick. One false move and I shall hit you on the knee with it.
All right, I know when I am beaten. But you haven't held the last of Dr. Chu N. Ginsburg. M.A. failed. Goodbye.
And with that, he leapt out of the window, signed a contract to appear in his own series on BBC Two, and was never seen again. My job was finished, Dimbleby was released and flown home in time to give a ball-by-ball description of a vital polo match at Country Park, and England could breathe again. But what of Ginsburg? We in MI5 do not yet know how far his fiendish scheme has progressed. Somewhere, somehow, his devilish work may be going on. So next time you go to the zoo, give the chimpanzee a banana or two. After all, he may be our next Prime Minister. And now the Fraser Hayes Four with a song to make you whistle with disbelief as they sing a track from their new LP, Elizabeth Schwarzkopf, live at the Dog and Duck. The Fraser Hayes Four.
Deep in the night I climb the stairway to the sea and pretend you are there beside me, so close beside me, watching the sea. I see us there upon the stairway to the sea, where the mist softly kiss two lovers, hiding from others, our love by the sea.
Why try to find a new love when your voice keeps calling me? I'm just a lonely prisoner of the stairway to the sea.
And there you'll find me waiting for the day of your return. But till that day, how memories can burn. This is my prayer upon the stairway to the sea, that you soon will be there before me, whispering adore me, there by the sea. Why try to find a new love when your voice keeps calling me? I'm just a lonely prisoner on the stairway to the sea. There you'll find me waiting for the day of your return. Until that day, how memories can burn. This is my prayer upon the stairway to the sea, that you soon will be there before me, whispering adore me, there by the sea, there by the sea.
And now, trends. First, fashion.
Cat suits are going to be the thing this season.
Well, my cat's been wearing one for years.
There's a new one-piece undergarment currently on the market. It's made of unboned, flesh-colored nylon.
Sort of filleted corset, I suppose.
For men,
is showing an exciting new colour range. With his whiskey-coloured raincoat, he's showing a shocking pink gin sports jacket and a pair of disgusting brown ale trousers.
A well-known clothing manufacturer and ventriloquist Peter Bruff is marketing a new sports jacket. He's called it the Archie Andrews line. It has a vent up the back.
Trends in the cinema.
Bad news for lovers of foreign films. If you live in the provinces, you won't be able to see Fellini's 8.5. Owing to censor trouble, it's been cut, and it's now Fellini's 6 7/8.
Michael Chaplin is remaking his father's old silence classic, Easy Street.
News on the television scene. Following the demise of not so much a programme, many people are wondering what has become of the regular members of the cast.
John Bird will be appearing in his own radio show, Beyond Our Kenyatta.
Trends in travel. This year, more visitors than ever before are coming to London. So here for the would-be tourist are some useful tips on what to do and where to go.
This month, London is in a holiday mood. To celebrate the coming of summer, British Railways are decorating Paddington Station with a completely new coat of grime.
See London seamy-side. Visit the world's largest doss house on the embankment, where pitiful, shambling victims of social inequality gather to sleep away the daylight hours. It's called the House of Lords.
But there's another side of London too, a modern go-ahead side. In many respects, London is the mecca of fashion and style. For the well-groomed man, there's a new hairdressing establishment opened in Chelsea. It's called Bono Bouffon. It's a sort of clip joint. I popped in there the other day for a trim. Hello? Anybody there?
Come in. Je suis Julien, this is mon ami Sandy.
Hello, it's Mr. Horne, n'est-ce pas? Oh, yes, you remember us, don't you?
Yes, you're vividly etched on my memory. I just popped in for a haircut.
Oh, it's a bit like shutting the stable door after the horse is gone, isn't it?
I mean, it's hardly worth his taking his hat off for, is it? In the chair, Julian will take you. He tortures the Ryan. Lovely. He's got the fingers for it.
Oh. Hands of an artiste.
Oh, good. When he's done that, would you ask him to do my hair?
He's very bold.
Yes.
Very bold.
As a billiard ball.
What style do you think I should have?
Well, I mean, you're a bit limited, aren't you? I mean, you don't lend yourself to the shaggy look, do you? No, you haven't got the wherewithal.
Oh, he hasn't.
He hasn't got the wherewithal.
No, let's face it. I mean, look, he's got more hair in his ears than he's got on his head. No, the best we can do with what you've got on top is to huff on it and give it a quick once-over with a duster. What do you think about the sides, though, Sam? We might do something sheesh for the sides, eh, Sam?
He's got the ears.
Oh, yes, good ears he's got. They nearly match, too.
But his nape.
Oh.
I mean, what can you do with a nape?
It's a naff nape.
It's a naff nape. No, what can you do with a nape? No, the best we can do is to backcomb his eyebrows. What about that? How do you think he'd take with the Buffon eyebrow?
Oh, fame. Or you could have flick-ups with a blue rinse. Très distingué.
Very, that's true. No. No, I think all in all, his best plan is to have a toupee. Have a toupe. The half front tooth, you see. Indistinguishable from the real thing. We make them for all the stars, you know. Oh, Jimmy Savile, he wears one of ours. We didn't make it for him, made it for Kathy Kirby, but she lends it to him in exchange for luggage. Beautiful job. Made it out of Dusty Springfield's clippings. Lovely
They
job.
are. They all come in here for their wigs, don't they?
True.
There's Mick Jagger, Edwin Braden.
No, him, great airy thing.
Ringo Starr.
Let's see what wigs we've got in stock. Show him the wigs, Julia.
Yes, now, could I interest you in a flame red shoulder-length wig?
Well, not me, but you might interest the Chief of Police.
He's been sulky.
I thought
There's a nasty edge to him, Jules.
Yes.
There is.
Well, let's face it, you've got to overlook it. I mean, he's at a funny age.
Oh, well, do you want an Irish or don't you? Irish jig.
Yes,
Do you
I
want an
know,
Irish?
yes, I must admit a wig might do something for me, but the prices always put me off. I mean, they're rather expensive, aren't they?
If you have your real hair, that comes out about 75 guineas. Then you have your nylon washable at 20, or your horse hair about 15. I wouldn't advise your horse hair. If you go out in the rain with it, you come home looking like Ken Dodd. No, but for 15 quid, it's quite reasonable.
Still too dear.
Oh, what can you do with him? Sand. It's great. Give him a sack full of sweepings and a tube of glue and let him do it himself. It's just sick.
No, I'd really much sooner stay as I am. All I want is an ordinary haircut.
Right, pass the clippers, Jew. Make sure you work on this, don't worry yourself. All done, that'll be 33 and 6.
What? 33 and 6 just for a haircut?
Oh, no, it's only 3 and 6 for the cutting of the hair. The 30 shillings of the search fee.
Well, that brings us almost to the end of the show. All that's left for me to do is to announce the winner of the Limerick competition. And the winner is Mrs. Nancy Perry, Hockington House, Willingdon, Eastbourne. And this is the Limerick. A cockney was pushing his barrow through Battersea's streets wide and narrow, and the lolly he made by the tricks of the trade got both of his sons into Harrow. And the next competition begins with the following 2 lines. 2 nudists who lived at Footscray went out for a picnic one day. I'll repeat that. 2 nudists who lived in Footscray went out for a picnic one day. And all you have to do is complete the limerick suggesting one of the many risible things that might have happened to them. Answers, please, on a postcard to Round the Horne, care of the BBC, London W1. And to the sender of the winning entry goes this week's prize, which is a horse's hoof made out of an inkwell. Cheerio. See you next week.
That was Round the Horne, starring Kenneth Horne, with Kenneth Williams, Hugh Paddick, Betty Marsden, and Bill Pertwee. On the musical side, you heard the Fraser Hayes Four and Edwin Braden and the Hornblowers. The script was written by Barry Chalk and Marty Feldman and produced by John Simmons.
The Meteorological Office issued the following gale warning to shipping at 13:30 GMT today. Viking east 40s, northeasterly gales, force 8, imminent. And that's the end of the gale warning.
Now, here are details of some of this week's programs on radio and television.
In Top of the Pops tonight, you will be able to hear Val Doonican singing O Rafferty's Pig. And a little later on, you'll be able to hear O Rafferty's Pig singing Val Doonican.
On Tuesday evening, there'll be another pop program especially designed for the over 70s called Gadzooks, It's All Happened.
And finally, football. The match of the week on Saturday is between 2 teams of prisoners, Chelmsford Jail and Chelsea.
And meanwhile, for those of you who are more easily pleased, here's 30 minutes of squalid and macabre horseplay as we take you round the horn. The story so far: hairy, tattooed Lascar stoker Betty Marsden had shipped out of Liverpool aboard a leaky old tramp played by Hugh Paddick in Waterway. Peering into a tar-bottomed lifeboat played by tar-bottomed Bill Pertwee, she finds lovely tussle ragamuffin Kenneth Williams, she of the dimpled nose and freckled teeth. "At last I've found you, Rachel," he cried, as he pressed her firmly and tenderly between the pages of his stamp album. While the kindly old moon peeped out from behind a cloud and beamed down on the lovers, as if to say,
My name's Kenneth Horne. Hello and welcome to Round the Horne. That was, of course, Douglas Smith, company director of No Fixed Abode, who appears by permission of the all-night chemists in Piccadilly. Well, to start off, now, here are the answers to last week's quiz. Question 1, the great lovers of history. Well, the answers were, of course, Antony and Cleopatra, Troilus and Cressida, and Andy Pandy and Looby Loo. Question 2, the geography question. Well, the 3 hills that we asked you to find were Richmond, Primrose, and Fanny. Most of you got your Richmond. Some of you got your Primrose. Once again, we come to the spot in the show where we invite minorities to come forth and air their views. And this week we have with us in the studio a small group who claim to be an autonomous kingdom within Great Britain. Now, standing next to me is their leader, Mr...
Gruntfattock. J. Peasmould Gruntfattock, King Gruntfattock the Fourth of Peasmouldia. Yes.
The fourth?
Yes, and also the first, second, and the third. It's just my whim.
Your whim,
My
I see.
whim.
Yes,
I
now...
have them.
Yes. Where actually is Peasmouldia?
It's railway sidings Oxton. It's environs, viz. Scroggs Alley, and as far as Budmold Street as the pub. About 200 square yards in all. That is my dominion.
Well, now, what gives you the idea that you are king of this particular area?
It came unto me in a vision.
Oh, a vision, you say?
Yes, I get them mainly of a Friday after the pubs. Generally, they consist of snakes and giant alligators and that class of thing. But on this occasion, it was an ethereal figure, and it said, "Go forth, Gruntfattock." My child. Yes, and claim the throne, he said, of Peasmouldia. Thus spake the voice, so I done it next morning.
And now you claim to be the king. How many loyal subjects do you have?
Well, including my wife and myself, 2. This gracious lady who stands beside me is in fact my dearly beloved queen. Give him the royal salutation, Buttercup.
Hello, cheeky face!
Yes, very regal, that is. You'll have to forgive her. She's a commoner. She's as common as muck, she is. Yes, I married beneath myself.
That's nice talk for a king. Fine king you are, sitting on the throne all day making proclamations.
Now, could you tell me more about this kingdom of Peasmouldia? I mean, are you officially recognised by the British government?
No, we're not. And that's what gets up our nose, doesn't it? They haven't even sent us Patrick Gordon Walker.
Well, I've got several questions I'd like to ask you.
I'm sorry, the audience is over. My gracious lady and I must away to our royal palace at number 3 railway sidings. You see, today's the day we're holding a royal tea party in the backyard. It's a social occasion of the year for us.
So my husband and I have to nip off before the chip shop closes.
It's all go when you're a king. Come on.
Get it on.
What a regal couple they make, don't they? Their very presence adds a touch of pageantry to our mundane lives. Now then, Smith, stop scratching yourself and announce the next item.
Yes, sir. Now, once again, it's time to meet the James Bond of the Derby and Joan clubs, Kenneth Horne, Master Spy.
My name is Kenneth Horne, licensed to kill and peddle matches. It all started in my luxuriously appointed prefab on Hackney Marshes. I just finished a case. I pulled out my Ipcress file and sat there idly filing my Ipcress. I sat back in my chair and put my lean bronzed legs up on the ottoman.
Oh, master, watch where you're putting your lean bronze legs.
Oh, sorry, Ataturk. Hello, Dusty Springfield speaking.
It's all right, Horne. You can drop the disguise. It's Haverstrap here. I've got brown horrocks for you.
Well, I don't want them.
No. Colonel Brown Horrocks, intelligence. He wants to have a word with you.
Horne.
Brown Horrocks.
Something terrible has happened. Get over here immediately.
Yes, sir. I had a feeling there was trouble, big trouble. I slipped on my bulletproof comms with the secret apartment. Then I donned the cheese cutter cap, which I always wear when I'm cutting cheese. Then I put on a gramophone record of a taxi drawing up. I leapt onto the turntable and was whisked away to Whitehall.
Oh, there you are, Horne.
Yes, Brown Horrocks, what's wrong?
Let me play you this tape. It was recorded last week on the BBC Light programme. I think you might find it interesting.
This week, our girl comes to you from a tripe scaling factory in Littlehampton. Hello, Littlehampton. Thank you. Standing beside me, I have a dear old lady who's... I beg your pardon. A dear old...
Well, what do you make of that?
I'm most curious. It sounded almost as if he'd turned into a dog.
Precisely. Suddenly, for no apparent reason, he started barking and scampering around the state on all fours. Bit Mabel savagely in the ankle. Disgraced himself with Harry Hudson. To all intents and purposes, he had become a Yorkshire Terrier. Not physically, of course, but in every other respect.
Strange.
Yes, we thought it might just be overwork or something, but it's been happening all over the place. Several well-known people have been affected in a similar way. Listen to this tape. We took this off TV.
Well, Janet, and where's Dr. Finlay?
Well, Dr. Cameron, he's away out on his rounds. He's attending to old Mr. McWhirter's...
I beg your pardon, Janet.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dr. Cameron. I just said... Oh, dear.
Very sad. And after that, she just ran about the studio, flapping her arms and clucking like a chicken. And then she flew up into the light bracket and refused to come down.
What do you think's causing it?
We don't know, but it's becoming widespread. I mean, listen to this. John Arlott.
And Truman turns to the umpire with that characteristic gesture we all know so well. Walks back from the wicket, rubbing the ball on his trousers. Starts his run up and... And Dexter goes back and plays a shot on his...
And there you are. Thinks he's a cow. Behaves like a cow. But otherwise...
Perfectly normal.
Oh, yes. He gives a good 4 pints a day. Really is most alarming. Look, we've had reports from all over. Ted Moat tried to enter himself for the 3:30 at Newbury.
Good heavens.
Came first. Fortunately, I had him in a cross double with Elmer Kogan. But as you can see, the whole thing is deadly serious. Why should all these celebrities suddenly assume the characteristics of animals? We suspect they're being got at, and it's up to you to find out how and to stop it.
Brown Horrocks pursed his lips and threw me a meaning glance. I caught it deftly, balanced it on the end of my nose, and slipped it into my top pocket to smoke after dinner. I had a feeling that the inscrutable, devilish mastermind, Dr. Chu N. Ginsberg, was behind this.
3 days later, the elegant figure of Master Spy Kenneth Horne could be seen passing coolly through the streets of Hong Kong.
Excuse me, passing coolly. Could you direct me to the secret lair of Dr. Chu N. Ginsberg?
Sir. Which roughly translated means honorable scriptwriters too lazy to think of funny reply. Secret lair of Dr. Choin Ginsberg, just across Lord. Thank you.
I thanked him, shook him warmly by the throat, and pushed him reflectively into the harbour. Then I headed for Ginsberg's lair.
Come in. Ah, so, Mr. Horne, I have been expecting you for 3 pages.
I'm sorry, I got held up by the laughs.
You surprise me. Would you care for tea?
Thank you.
Bring us tea, Lotus Blossom. The delicate lap-sung Suzhou blend, as drunk by generations of mandarins, and let it be served in the delicate priceless porcelain of the Ming dynasty. And let's have some ginger biscuits, too. All right. Have you got that, Lotus Blossom?
You got that. 2 teas and a portion of biscuits.
Thank you, Lotus Blossom.
Lotus Blossom.
Yes, but that's her problem. To what do I owe the honor of your visit?
Well, I've cottoned on to your little game, you inscrutable devil. You've been luring famous personalities into your Harley Street clinic. And whilst pretending to give them a routine checkup, you've been injecting them with animal hormones.
That is true. I am going to take over the whole world and turn all human beings into animals.
But why?
A man's got to have a hobby, hasn't he? Besides, I bear a grudge against the BBC.
Well, so do we all, but we don't go about it that way.
Here's your teas. We run out of bickies, so I brought you a bit of slab cake.
Thank you, Lotus Blossom. Mr. Horne, you require entertainment? Lotus Blossom was skilled in arts of geisha, singing, dancing, conversation, playing upon stringed instruments, and was once scrum half for Wakefield Trinity.
Would you like to sample one of my 1,000 delights?
Well, no, thanks. I'm trying to give it up. I'll just have a cup of tea, I think. Well, cheers, inscrutable Dr. Ginsberg.
Bottoms up, inscrutable Horne.
I took a sip of tea. It was drugged. I stood lurched towards the grinning face of my adversary. But then, all at once, I felt myself start to reel. When I came to, I was strapped to a slab in the doctor's laboratory. Suspended by a hair above me was a razor-sharp scimitar. An alligator snapped about my ankles. The walls and ceiling were slowly closing in on me. Through a grating in the floor seeped poison gas. And as that wasn't bad enough, my corn was throbbing. How was I going to escape? I was desperate. Then suddenly it came to me in a flash. There was only one man who could save me now. Smith?
Yes, sir.
Announce me out of this.
Very well, sir. With a light bound, Horne regained his freedom.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll do the same for you one day.
So, Horne, you have escaped me this time, but you haven't heard the last of Dr. Chu-In Ginsberg, M.A., failed goodbye.
And with that, he squeezed through a hole in the plot, scampered up Edwin Braden's leg and hid in his moustache. Where, for all we know, he might still be. Nobody really cares to look for fear of what they might find. Unfortunately, it was too late to undo the doctor's fiendish work, and so, until the drug wears off, Have a Go will be coming to you from the Battersea Dogs Home. And here now, to add insult to injury, are the Fraser Hayes Four to sing a track from their new LP, Clap Hands, Here Comes Archbishop Macarius. The Fraser Hayes Four.
We're gonna make believe that the mailman called today.
I'm gonna sit right down and write myself a letter.
words oh so sweet. They're gonna knock me off my feet.
A lot of kisses at the bottom. I'll be glad I got 'em.
I'm gonna smile and say, I hope you're feeling better.
And close with love the way you do.
The way you do. I'm gonna sit right down and write myself a letter. And make believe it came from you. Mailman passes by and I just wonder why he never stops to ring my front door bell.
There's not one single line from that dear old love of mine.
No, not a word since I last said farewell. Farewell, I'm gonna sit right down and write myself a letter. And make believe that it came from you, came from you. I'm gonna write words oh so sweet. They're gonna knock me off my feet.
A lot of kisses at the bottom.
I'll be glad I got 'em. I'm gonna smile and say I hope you're feeling better. And close with love just the way you do. I'm gonna sit right down and write myself a letter. And make believe it came, though I know it's not the same. I'll make believe that it came from you.
And now, trends.
Again, we come to the part of the show for the trendy young moderns, especially designed for the hip, as opposed to the rest of the show, which is mainly below the belt. Now, first, fashion.
Norman Hartnell has done something terribly cheeky in Shantung.
Many times, many times. Many times.
What else is new on the fashion scene?
Mary Quant has pulled it off again.
Oh.
But fortunately, she was able to sew it back on at once. Last week, she absolutely amazed foreign buyers with the ingenious things she did with ostrich feathers.
Yes, like knitting a garage, I suppose. Now, trends in music. Folk singing is back. And in the studio tonight, we have the doyen of folk singers, Rambling Sid Rumpo. Now, Mr. Rumpo, why do they call you Rambling?
Because I ramble. I live a vagabond life, a gypsying up and down the highways and byways, free as the wind. A mossy bank be my couch, a blackthorn tree be my coverlid, and a hedgehog be the pillow where I rest my weary head. Ah, lack-a-day-roo, chirrup, chirrup.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, nothing. I'm just being colourful. That's expected of you when you're in the folk song racket.
You just wander around the countryside picking up old folk songs, do
Aye,
you?
among other things.
Yeah.
Chirrup, chirrup, and dang me down a doodle-o. I'll sing you a song if you like. This to be an old Hebridean groat-wordling song, so-called because it's sung by the old women of they parts as they crouch on their lummock stools, a wordling of their groats. I'll just tune in me guitar. Right, 1, 2, and away we go. With a fiddle-diddly-reel and a bang on your bangle, my true love did daddy and dangle me
It's very catchy, isn't it? It's called mouth music, isn't it?
By some. Others call it quite the reverse. Here's Here's a folk song you'll like. It's only ever sung at the Norfolk Shreve picking time. And all the villagers leap about the grummet pole and pick their shreves. Nasty habit, if you ask me. But it has produced a great deal of folklore and complaints from the Norfolk Constabulary. It goes like this. Oh, who's first nurdling with a grommet man with a merry down, derry down, boodle-dum day? To which the village maidens reply, I will snoodle with a grommet man with a ho trub fiddle-dum day. A ho dum fiddle-dum diddle day and a rope hop stickleback center pot day.
Yes, that's very interesting. What do the words mean?
Oh, I don't know. I make them up as I go along.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Rambling Sid Rumpo. And if you should be rambling past our studio again in the near future, don't hesitate. Keep rambling. Now, finally, trends in the home. The other week I saw an advert in a magazine which read, "Why not brighten up your home? Our interior decor experts will advise you." So I rang up this firm. It's called Fabe Homes. And anyway, the next morning at about 7 o'clock, I was woken up by the doorbell ringing. Coming, coming.
Oh, hello, I'm Julian. This is my friend Sam.
Hello, we're Fabe Holmes. That is, we're actually filling in as interior decorators between acting and engaged. It's been a bit slack lately, isn't it? It's slack, you see. I did a commercial last week. It's the one where they say treadmill with stout is a man's drink. And then I come trolling in, dragged up as a navvy, and sort of smack me lips over the filthy stuff.
And I'm in the razor blade advert. I'm the one who prefers...
This was his part lovely.
Yes, well, it's up to you, of course. What I say is chacun son. Look, you better come in now, Joe, here. Now, this is my living room.
Oh! Nasty.
What's wrong with it?
Well, it's a bit vintage years of Hollywood, isn't it? Oh, I couldn't live in a place like this, could you, Jude?
Oh, no. One thing I couldn't be doing with that flocked wallpaper. That'll have to go for a start. Given the screaming abdabs, that would. Oh! Oh, Lord, I'll have to go and have a lay down. It's terrible.
Now look what you've done to him. When he sees wallpaper like that, it completely clogs his self-expression. Never mind, Jude. You can let yourself go on his drapes.
Quite a good idea. Got some boner curtain materials here.
Yes, Fabe, show him your swatch.
Yeah, all right, I don't mind. Now, you've got your plum velvet, you've got your Hessian, and you have your silk.
Wild?
Absolutely.
Now, I fancy something a little different.
Well, it comes down to the black leather, then.
Black leather curtains?
Yeah, all very kinky.
And if they wear, you can always have them half sold and healed. Yes, good idea. Put him down for the curtains. Right. Put him down there. Yeah. Of course, it means all that tight furniture will have to go.
Oh, definitely.
Quite out of keeping, isn't it? I mean, what do you fancy, Jude?
Well, I see the Danish teak everywhere.
Fine.
And with that, a touch of Victoriana, say a chaise longue or a whatnot. You fancy a whatnot in the corner, Sand? Hey?
You want me to be frank, don't you?
Of course.
I mean, you like me to be blunt, don't you?
Oh,
you know me.
I do.
Tell the truth and shame the devil.
Yes.
Well, frankly, man to man,
yes.
I'm not besotted with the idea. It doesn't sing.
Oh, well, that's a relief anyway. I don't think I could have stood us singing whatnot.
Oh, half a mo. Wait a minute. Wait. It's coming to me.
It's inspired. It's
coming to me. I've got it.
What?
I've got it. Palais de Versailles.
gilt caryatid full-length mirrors chandeliers.
Oh, fantabuloso. Oh, yes, but I think that ceiling will have to go. It won't fit in.
No, yes. The wallpaper will have to go too. That won't fit in now.
Oh, let's face it, Jewel, everything will have to go.
Oh, the lot.
It's got to go. I mean, none of it fits in.
no.
Right, that's settled then.
Now, just a minute. Haven't I got any say in the matter? What about me?
There's no doubt about that. You'll certainly have to go.
So that's how it was. I'm afraid I just didn't fit in. That's all for this week, except to announce the winner of our limerick competition. And it comes from a Mr. A.N. Millington of 30 Houghton near Annerley, Arundel. And this is the winning limerick. The pink-spotted thrush of Bengal has a very peculiar call. The reason his song is so terribly long is because he's so terribly tall. Rather nice, isn't it? Right. Now, the next competition begins with the following two lines, which have immense possibilities, I think. A very rude boy from Johore wrote the following words on the door. I'll repeat that. A very rude boy from Johore wrote the following words on the door. And all you have to do is to complete the limerick, suggesting the message he wrote within the bounds of good taste, of course. Answers, please, on a postcard to Round the Horne, care of the BBC, London, W1. And to the sender of the best limerick goes this week's prize of a moustache cup, which is very useful for drinking your bedtime moustache out of. Cheerio. See you next week.
That was Round the Horne, starring Kenneth Horne, with Kenneth Williams, Hugh Paddick, Betty Marsden and Bill Pertwee. On the musical side, you heard the Fraser Hayes Four and Edwin Braden and the Hornblowers. The script was written by Barry Cooke and Marty Feldman and produced by John Simmons. Here are some details of this week's programmes on radio and television.
Tonight, the House of Commons Amateur Operatic Society will be doing Mr. Mikado.
And finally, in Holiday Hour, there'll be a talk entitled Sicily, given by Jack Halbert.
Meanwhile, for those of you who are more easily pleased, here's 30 minutes of whimsical muck as we take you round the horn. Story so far. Swaggering gold-toothed buccaneer Betty Marsden. He of the barrel chest and eyes like bungholes. Sat idly tying a granny knot in his granny. Played by sweet lavender-smelling Bill Pertwee. Meanwhile, on the poop deck, leggy, voluptuous Bolivian heiress Kenneth Williams struggled for control of the wheel with mad bosun Black Hugh Paddick, scourge of the Spanish Main, and none too popular in Hounslow. Where in an ivy-covered old cottage sat his ivy-covered old mum, bringing her hands through the mangle and crooning to herself over and over again the words,
My name's Kenneth Horne. Hello and welcome to Round the Horne. That was Douglas Smith, who police believe can help them with their inquiries. He appears by permission of the YMCA, Tel Aviv. Now the answers to last week's quiz. Question 1, the collective nouns. Well, of course, it's a pride of lions, a covey of baked beans, and a herd of Edwin Braden. Now, most of you got a pride of lions, and a few of you had a covey of baked beans, but none of you had heard of Edwin Braden.
I have, great airy fool.
Well, now, the answer to question 2, the what do you do with it question. Well, of course, the answer is you stuff it. With either capock or feathers, and not with sage and onion. Now, I would have accepted down, but on no account up. Now we come to the section of the show where we invite minorities to air their views. This week we are honoured by a return state visit of the man who is self-appointed head of an autonomous kingdom within Great Britain, Mr.
Grant Fattock. King Grant Fattock of Peasmoldia.
Yes.
Peasmoldia.
Which I believe consists of railway sidings Hoxton and up as far as Buttermold Street as the pub.
That's right. That is my kingdom, yes. The Holy Peasmoldian Empire.
Holy?
Holy, yes. You see, the empire is wholly my own idea. You see, I have the voices. They speak to me, they tell me things. Go forth, Grant Fattock. They said, go forth, Grant Fattock, my child, they said. Go forth, they did. They said, go forth and claim thy rightful inheritance. And they added, P.S., my child, and while you're out, get us an ounce of shag.
Like Joan of Arc?
Yes, Joan. No, they prefer old Hobson's curly cut. So I did gird up my loins and go forth up the High Street, proclaiming myself as a king.
And how did people respond to this?
Very gratifying, considering one woman gave me a shilling.
Oh. And now you claim you're king?
Yes, I even issue my own coinage.
You?
Yes, here, look, this is a Peasmoldian penny piece. Notice my likeness on the front. See what it says?
Yeah.
Grant Fatticus Rexus Pisus on ind imp it's Latin,
I see.
Latin.
Yes, and translated that means Grant Fattock, king of all Peasmoldia. Now, ind imp. Emperor of India?
Yes, that's the pub in Buttermold Street.
And what's the DD for?
Drunken disorder. The lady, see that lady?
Yes.
That lady depicted at my side is Royal Highness, my gracious good lady wife, Queen of all Peasmoldia. She's here with me. I'll summon her worshipful majesty to come forth. Oi, Kipperfeet!
What?
Come here. Stop scratching yourself. Come over here. Meet Mr. Horne.
Hello, cheeky face.
I told you not to say that when you meet strangers. Say what I taught you, Buttercup.
We are graciously pleased to grant you an audience.
You may address her now. She's given you leave. We'll waive the kissing of her hand, seeing as how grubby it is.
Well, quite now, tell me, King...
Grant Fattock. Grant Fattock. It's hyphenated, double-barreled, you see. My grandfather was a grunt from the Rotherhithe Grunts, and he married an Oxton Futtock. So, uniting two great houses in one.
Yes, now, very interesting indeed.
This
now,
is interesting.
It is, isn't it? Yes. Now, before you go,
yes,
which I hope is any moment now, would you like to broadcast a message to your loyal subjects?
No, because we are all assembled here, to wit, the wife and me. Anyway, we must away now, because royal duties are pressing. Besides, the royal horse and cart are parked on a meter. Oi! Put your cap on, we're going.
And what a majestic couple they make. Oh, well, I suppose they're part of life's rich tapestry. The moth-eaten part. Now, Smith, stop picking crumbs out of Edwin Braden's moustache and introduce the next item.
Certainly, sir. And now, episode 3, count them, 3 of Kenneth Horne, Master Spy. This week, from Russia with love. And kind regards to Auntie Mabel, the twins, and all at number 3.
It all began in the luxuriously appointed stateroom of my twin-screw, diesel-driven private rubber duck moored in Cannes Harbour. I was relaxing after a case. Suddenly the phone rang. And as I answered it, my face became an impassive mask cut off the back of a cereal packet. Hello? Yogi Bear speaking.
You can drop the disguise, Horne. This is Haverstrap here. I've got brown horrocks on my extension.
Well, that's your problem.
No, Colonel Brown, Horrocks Intelligence. He wants to speak to you.
Oh, Horne?
Yes, sir?
Look, Horne, something nasty's come up. I've had the PM on my neck all morning.
Well, put a poultice on it. It'll soon go down.
Get back to London immediately. There's a music link leaving in 2 seconds. Be on it.
Blast, missed it. I'll have to charter a private sound effect.
Any sign of Horne, Miss Golightly?
It's hard to see from here.
Well, get off my lap and look out of the window.
Oh, there's a pair of coconut shells drawing up. Someone's getting off. Yes, sir, yes. It's Horne.
Ah, Horne.
Ah, Brown Horrocks.
Ah. You must be worn out after your journey. Care for a spot of lunch?
Yes, sir.
Oh, good. There's one on my lapel. Scrape it off. Enough of that and out of business. Since you've been away, there's been an extraordinary outbreak of truth.
Truth?
Truth, yes. All sorts of people in all walks of life have suddenly started telling the truth. If it spreads any further, it could mean the end of the British way of life. I want you to listen to this. It's a recording taken from the radio, and a report of a society wedding by a well-known commentator.
I'm standing here in the freezing cold outside St. Bottle's, Westminster, with an unctuous grin on my face, preparing to give you snobs at home details of yet another dreary society wedding between Daphne, the eldest daughter of the Duke of Stukely, and the Honourable Alistair Twick, the son, he says, of that senile old pantaloon, the Earl of Maquirta. And here they come now, the spotty, fat bride, her face suffused with acne, clinging desperately to the arm of old Blubberlips, the chinless wonder. What an array of glittering nobodies are here today. Yes, what a waste of everybody's time. Still, if I do it often enough, I might cop for a knighthood.
Well, this really is alarming. What do you think is causing it?
We don't know, but it's affecting all sorts of people. Now, here's a transcript of a recent trial at the Old Bailey. The prisoner pleaded guilty to a charge of disorderly behaviour in a public place, but he was dismissed because the judge said, and I quote, "Don't worry, mate. I've often done the same thing myself, only, of course, being a judge, nobody dared nick me for it."
Well, what do you make of it, Brown Horrocks?
Well, obviously somebody's been getting at these people, brainwashing them perhaps, or giving them a truth serum. The only link between all the victims is that they've all been patients at the same private rest home in Geneva. It's an establishment run by Dr. Chu N. Ginsberg. Now, we want you to get out to Geneva, Horne, and stop him.
Okay, Smith.
Yes, sir.
Announce me to Geneva.
Sir. Some hours later, at the private nursing home of Dr. Chu N. Ginsberg in Geneva.
Thank you, Smith. Nicely announced. I knocked on the huge front door. It opened, and standing there was the doctor's receptionist. Was this the lovely and desirable Ramona, the sultry temptress who had lured so many men to their doom in her arms? As if in answer to my unspoken thought, she said,
Yes, I am the lovely and desirable Ramona, the sultry temptress who has lured so many men to their doom in my arms many, many times. Many, many times.
Oh, well, one more can't hurt. We clung together passionately. My mouth searched for hers and found it exactly where I'd suspected it would be. Under her nose. She looked at me hungrily. I looked at her hungrily. Then she spoke, her voice little more than a hoarse whisper.
Would you like some sardines on toast?
Sardines later, well, when we break for tea. Smith!
Yes, sir.
You know what's expected of you.
Yes, sir. 3 days later.
3 days?
3 days later, Master Spy Horne shambled nimbly up the stairs to Dr. Chu N. Ginsberg's study.
Come in.
Ah, Chu N. Ginsberg, we meet at last.
Yes, I've been hanging about here for 15 pages. What brings you here, Horne?
I've tumbled your little caper.
Yes, I know. I heard the pair of you locking about downstairs. Most delightful lady. Now, Mr. Horne, would you care for some light refreshment? Say, a drugged drink?
It would be lewd to refuse.
I will summon my concubine, Lotus Blossom. Ah, Lotus Blossom.
Yes, Gov.
Carries her age well, doesn't she? Most gifted of all my geishas, skilled at the arts of provocative dancing. Would you care to see her perform sensual song and dance, telling age-old story of the love of sun god for Chinese maiden?
Well, thank you.
Lotus Blossom.
Yes, Gov.
After two, a one, a two.
Oh, okey cokey cokey. Knees bend, raw, raw, raw.
There, does that not turn your blood to fire?
No.
No? Strange. Never affects me either.
Perhaps a gent would care to sample one of my many other delights.
I'd sooner have the drug drink, I think.
Suit yourself.
Very well. Bring us 2 goblets of the delicate sake of the Cantonese region, as drunk by generations of my honorable ancestors. Let it be of a fragrant bouquet, so that as we sip, we may inhale the perfume of 1,000 flowers. And while you're at it, bring us a couple of pork pies.
Yes, so mighty Mandarin. I hasten to do your bidding, cock.
Thank you, precious. Mr. Horne, tell me, what brings you here?
I've come to thwart your evil plan to inject everybody with your truth serum. You're mad, Doctor.
Do not call me mad!
You're mad.
I'm not mad! I'm mad! Irritable first thing in the morning, but not mad!
Here's your 2 pints of sake. The drug's in the one on the left. Oh, and here's your pies.
Thank you, darling. So, Mr. Horne, you wish to stop me? Well, life, Mr. Horne, is like a game of chess. You understand the meaning of the term stalemate?
Yes.
Well, do not eat pie, stalemate. You are not drinking your drugged drink. What's the matter? Is something wrong with it?
No. Cheers.
Bottoms up, Mr. Horne.
Little did he know that I'd switched the glasses. He drank deeply, and then his face changed colour. He clutched at his throat. And then with a last effort, he pulled himself up to his full height, 2'3", and towered over me. He was standing on the wardrobe. His face convulsed in anger.
So, Mr. Horne, you may have beaten me this time, but you haven't heard the last of Dr. Chu-In Ginsberg, M.A., failed. Goodbye.
And with that, he trod on a laugh, which gave way under his feet, and he plunged headfirst into the lake. And me? Well, my job was done, but I still had some unfinished business to attend to. I went downstairs to where Ramona was awaiting me. She looked at me provocatively, her mouth a scarlet wound.
Oh, you've come back. I knew you would.
Yes, and you know what I want? My sardines on toast. And now here are the Fraser Hayes Four with a track from their new LP, Albert Schweitzer at the organ of the Tower Ballroom, Blackpool. The Fraser Hayes Four.
Button up your overcoat when the wind is free. Take good care of yourself, you belong to me. Take an apple every day, go to bed by 3. Take good care of yourself, you belong to me. Be careful crossing streets, woo-hoo. Don't eat sweets, woo-hoo. Cut out meat, woo-hoo. Or you'll get a pain and ruin your tum-tum.
Don't go out with fancy girls
when you're on the spree. Take care of yourself, you belong to me. You got a button, every button on your overcoat.
when the wind is free.
Take good care of yourself, you belong to me. When you see an apple, buy an apple, eat an apple every day.
Go to bed by 3.
Take good care of yourself, you belong to me.
Be careful crossing streets.
Ooh,
don't eat sweets.
Ooh, you gotta cut out meat. Ooh, you'll get a pain to ruin your tum-tum. Don't go out with fancy girls when you're on the spree. Take good care of yourself, you belong to me. When you're waking every morning, just remember to say an apple every day keeps the doctor away. Take care of yourself, you belong to me.
And now, trends.
First trends in the theatre. The nostalgia for the 30s continues. Soon to open in London's West End is yet another Noel Coward revival, Blithe Laughter, starring Celia Backstroke and Albert Runt. Here is an excerpt from the play.
Excited, Charles.
Yes, Fiona. Intoxicatedly, flutteringly, half-thumpingly, passionately excited. And yet, somehow, calm. And you, Fiona?
Yes, I'm calm too. Resignedly, tranquilly, stoically, placidly calm. And yet, somehow, excited.
I know.
I know you know.
I know you know, I know.
Yes, I know. These poignant, bittersweet moments of shared happiness mean more to me than life itself. Who was it said, stolen fruit tastes the sweetest?
It was you just now.
Ah, that's where I heard it.
Oh, Fiona, how I adore these mad, feverish, turbulent, tempestuous moments of tremulous, simmering, volcanic, ungovernable, madcap, frenzied, delirious, euphoric bliss. You're so provocatively tantalizing, so piquantly thrilling, so... Oh, but I can't find the words.
I know.
I know you know.
I know you know, I know.
Yes, I know. But I must go now, Fiona. I have my duty to do.
Oh, Charles. Charles, my darling. You look so splendid in your uniform. Yes, please. Please. Go now, before my husband comes back. He would never understand.
And shall I see you again?
Tomorrow morning, at the same time. And I'll have 2 extra pints, milkman, and some cottage cheese.
Well, I don't know about you, but personally I found that unutterably, inexpressibly, enchantingly, heart-flutteringly nauseating. Next, trends in music. Folk singers are still in, and none more so than our next guest, Rambling Sid Rumpert.
Good evening. I'm so sorry you was here last. I've been a-rambling and a-roving and a-making a nuisance of myself all over the country, picking up her folk songs, among other things. Vagabonding and a-gypsying hither and thither, the starry sky, my sailing, my only companion, my faithful guitar, and a bird called Charmian I picked up in a coffee bar. A doodle rang me down, cheer up, like a day, etc.
And what are you going to sing for us today?
This is an old gypsy clothes peg peddler's lament, which is sung by an old gypsy clothes peg peddler wherever he's lamenting. It tells the story of a handsome young gypsy who goes to the store trying to sell his pegs. Yes, and he says, "Ah, missus, will you buy my pegs, oh?"
To which he replies, "No, I will not buy of your pegs, oh. Clear off out of it or I'll set a dog on you." To which he replies, "Oh, all right then." And he goes, and then he sings this lament. Oh, Sybil, my Rudy, oh Rooney, oh ho, oh Sybil, my Rudy, oh day. Oh, who will treadle my thunder jug when I am far away? The hippity hoppity lulfully and a bickle-day rumble, oh.
Yes, thank you, Rambling Sid Rumble. Very moving indeed, very moving. And on behalf of all the listeners, I'd just like to say a heartfelt good riddance. Now, trends in modern living. Well, more and more fashionable people are flocking to unfashionable areas to live. Well, I don't like to feel I'm out of the swim, so when I saw an advertisement in one of the Sunday papers which read, "Thinking of making a move, why not consult Boner Homes estate agents?" I went along to their place in Chelsea. Hello, anybody there?
Oh, hello, I'm Julian. This is my friend Sam.
We're Boner Homes. Yes. Actually, we're filling in here between acting engagements on the telly.
Yes.
We just finished one together, you know. It was a soap commercial where I'm dancing with this girl in yards of net. You know, not me, Anyway, she's acting a bit funny towards me, and I can't understand why. So then Julian comes over and whispers something in my ear hole, and then I have a bath.
Took his bath lovely, Mr. Horne.
Yeah, it's lovely, wasn't it?
Now, what can we do for you?
Well, I'm looking for a small townhouse somewhere in Islington, I thought.
Oh, you don't want Islington, do we, Sam?
No. Islington, definitely not. Oh, no, it's being tarted up out of all recognition. But if you're looking for something really unspoiled, we've got some boner slums in Brixton. Now, Brixton is still unspoiled, isn't it, Jewel? Isn't that right, Jewel?
Oh, fab. I've got a bonus slum property just come in. 2 up, 2 down, 1 out the back. Now that is really very nice.
It's nice. That's nice. No.
Well, how much?
15,000.
Too dear.
Well, what was you thinking of paying then?
Well, I thought about 10,000.
10,000? Did you hear that, sir? Did you hear that?
Did I hear? Say it again. I like a good laugh.
You won't get nothing for 10,000 unless you go further out. Got a nice conversion on the A1 near Stevenage. Now, that stands right on the main road. That's nice, isn't it?
Oh, fantabulosa! And it's detached as well. We can recommend that highly, all on the one level. Well, you don't want to go climbing stairs at your age, do you?
Can't be doing with that.
And it's very you. Oh. I mean, you really know it's you. I can see you living there. I can see him living there. Can't you, Jules?
I thought you would. When it come in,
it's more your actual bijou pied de terre, really, isn't it?
Yes. It's very cheap, too. It's only 8,900. And you only have to share part of the year. But they're very nice people. You'll like them very much. They're 2 old Irishmen. But they'll only be there during the winter when they're gravelling.
Gravelling?
Yes.
What sort of a place is it then?
Well, didn't we tell you? It's a workman's hut.
Well, naturally I refused it. They did in the end fix me up with what I wanted, a townhouse. Trouble is, the town is Dumfries. Well, how shall I describe it? It's a sort of duplex, open-plan, converted slaughterhouse. Still, it's near the station, I suppose. Well, that's it for this week, except to give you the results of last week's Limerick competition. Now, the winning entry came from Mr. W.A. Beecham of 77 Enfield Road, Fishponds, Bristol. It goes like this. 2 nudists who lived in Foots Cray went out for a picnic one day. As one filled the kettle, he sat on a nettle and warmed up his cold consommé. That's rather nice. Well, now, this week's competition begins with the following two lines. A sailor from near Portland Bill once married a mermaid named Lil. I'll repeat that. A sailor from near Portland Bill once married a mermaid named Lil. And all you have to do is complete the following three lines, suggesting one of the many marital difficulties they may have encountered. And answers, please, on a postcard to Round the Horne, care of the BBC London W1. And to the sender of the best entry goes this week's prize, a compendium of games, including a shove halfpenny board and a halfpenny with instructions on how to shove it. See you next week.
That was Round the Horne, starring Kenneth Horne, with Kenneth Williams, Hugh Paddick, Betty Marsden and Bill Pertwee. On the musical side, you heard the Fraser Hayes Four and Edwin Braden and the Hornblowers. The script was written by Barry Chalk and Marty Feldman and produced by John Simmons.